This is another in the series of sermons of the Native American Church of the Ghost Dancers, www.ghostdancers.org. And we're here today at a very sacred spot in the Santa Monica Mountains, which rings the Santa Monica Bay. In this cave behind me, there are some old petroglyphs of horses, the Isoba, the thunder beings from the north, the Isiholba or Isoba. And I'm coming here today to not only invoke the spirit of these horses, Chiasithlali, Chiasithlali, Chiasitlalika, Isoba Mathli, Chiasitlalika, Isiapila, Chiasitlalika, Yokne Mathli. Because I'm coming here to implore anyone who has a heartfelt sense in their chunkash, their heart center, their compassion center, for these thunder beings that are now being repressed and exterminated, to come together and find a true solution. Not a solution of crocodile tears, but an actual true solution that can secure, preserve, and make these animals safe for all time. I'm going to tell you a little bit more how this can be done in a moment. This is a continuation of the previous sermon here in this sacred canyon of the Isoba, the horse, and these petroglyphs of the horse are behind us here. And this labyrinth has been here a long time to invoke that spirit. Now, it's a Native American tradition and spirit that's being invoked. And I come to implore you and to try to find a methodology for preserving these sacred four-legged brothers of our culture and of our clan. The problem principally is that the horses, like Native Americans, only if you were Native American and had experienced the last 200 years how the legal structure of the governments have been organized and orchestrated to disenfranchise and exterminate indigenous life and then exploit it on behalf of a colonialistic impulse, could you understand what's going on with the horses now? They're under really the guise of the Department of the Interior, just like the Native Americans are. And there's a similar agenda and a similar methodology has been used in order to repress and attempt to constrict and eventually pretty much exterminate the Indian pony, medicine hat, Tobiano, wild Mustang, whatever you call them, the Spanish barb. It was basically constructed around this concept of the law of discovery of the Roman Catholic Church and the Christian kings. And it was institutionalized into the legal structure by Supreme Court justice, by a Supreme Court ruling in 1830 of John Marshall, and further taken out of the whole parameter of the checks and balances of the court systems for our judicial review by the Lone Wolf versus Hitchcock being the Secretary of the Interior at the time this action was filed. So no longer could this be under the purview of judicial review. They're under the plenary act of Congress, just like Native Americans are. The solution has to go back to its source, since there was a religious impulse from Christendom and the Christian kings and the Roman Catholic Church that founded the law of discovery upon which these things are being enacted and progressed in agendas. These agenda are being actively pursued now. You have to have a counterpoise solution. So what I'm advocating, and there's legal and historical precedent for this to be enacted, is that a congressional act be passed recognizing the Native American Church of the Ghost Dancers, the Church of the Ghost Dancers, as an indigenous peoples organization. Under the Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People of the United Nations, we have the right of self-determination to reorganize ourselves and to be recognized in the international community as such. A congressional act would do that on a national level. at which time, because of the historicity between the Spanish kings and the kings of the Mississippi Valley, particularly the Choctaw Nation, of which I am a recognized member of by the United States government. I am a descendant of those Choctaw kings. These horses could then be actively pursued as part and parcel of our property. We would then be recognized as having human rights and property rights, and the so-called public lands, some of them would have to escheat to these indigenous peoples organizations. In addition to this, there should be a pursuit in the international community among the United Nations for recognition, not just as a non-governmental organization, but on the same level as the Roman Catholic Church with our own mission statement, because we feel we should have a voice in the international community as well, and we feel we should have human rights and are human beings. These two things, if those who have any compassion for the spirit of the land and the spirit of Isoba, the horse, if they could come together behind these two directives, this problem could be solved, and these sacred beings could be preserved for all time and all eternity.
Halito, Native brothers and sisters. Today we honor all that our Earth Mother has gifted to us, our Creator, the Great Architect, the Great Spirit, Hashi Inkpa, Sun, Father, Mother, Moon. And today we come to you here in the spirit of Isoba Mothli, the wind horse. And I have a quote to read by Mahatma Gandhi. A small body of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of history. Today I come to you with an open heart and ask you to join us in saving Isoba Mothli Nitaktalaya until the day that lasts forever.